Okay, good morning, everybody.
Morning.
So I guess we're going to open up with our REAC, Rockland Economic Assistance Corp. For those who are guests, this is our sister agency. We just have a couple little housekeeping items to take care of, and then we can go on to the IDA meeting.
Okay, call it to order, Stephen.
Okay, call attendance. Peg Zugaby,
Here.
Tim Riley,
Yes.
Eric Dranoff.
I am here.
Okay, with REAC, very quickly, we just have one action item. Something that we need to do is we need REAC to adopt the IDA's local labor policy that the IDA adopted last month.
Anyone want to move that policy?
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Peggy? All right, call the roll, Stephen.
Peg Zugaby,
Yes.
Tim Riley,
Yes.
Eric Dranoff.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there's
All right, no
new
new business, no old business. We have a treasurer's report.
We're going to defer the treasurer's report till next month. Our bookkeeper was gummed up in tax season, and I decided let him, we'll just push it to, we'll do 2 months next month.
Okay, so Stephen, I'm going to burden you with reading the minutes for our approval.
Okay. Actually, in turn, I'm going to burden Lisa. I've given her that. Okay, Lisa, you're on.
Okay, so we did a roll call. The action item was the adoption of the local labor policy. Steve explained we adopted it for the IDA last month. He asked the board if they would adopt for REAC, and with no further discussion, a motion to approve the policy was made by Tim, second by Peg. All in favor, motion passed 3-0. And that is it.
All right, anyone want to move for the approval of those minutes?
I'll move it.
I'll
All
second.
right. All right, orally, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? All right, we're adjourned. Jumping to the IDA.
Okay.
Stephen,
All right.
call the roll.
Okay, Peg Zugaby,
Here.
Tim Riley,
Still here.
Eric Dranoff.
Ditto.
Okay. First item action is we have an authorizing resolution for Manhattan Beer. Public hearing was held. There was no public comment. So I guess I'll leave it to the board has any questions or anything or to that event. We can,
No, anyone want to move the resolution?
I'll move it.
Second.
Okay, call the roll, Stephen.
Peg Zugaby,
Yes.
Tim Riley,
Yes.
Eric Dranoff.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good.
Mark, I
Michael's
see-
face is on the screen. Hello, Michael.
Morning. Good to see everybody.
Good to see you.
Okay. Mark, you guys are authorized, so you're all set.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome
Thanks
to
for
stay.
dropping in. I hope we didn't keep you with our constant chatter.
Have a good one, guys. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
thanks. We'll
You
be in
too,
touch.
Mark.
Okay.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, the next project is a new project. It's for the board to consider inducement resolution. It's IV2 Rockland Logistics Center. It involves the former Novartis site over in Suffern, and a little small parcel in Montebello as well. And I do know that we have the representatives here, and to that extent, I guess rather than me going on about it, I'll ask them if they could give us kind of a, just a broad 5-minute overview of the project, your plans, a little bit of the color to the project.
Steve, yes, thank you. Darius Shefazada with the law firm Harris Beach for the applicant. With me today is Justin Drysdale from the applicant, as well as Lisa Ling and Will Pasick. I don't see anyone else from our team, but that looks like the whole team. We appreciate the opportunity to present today. If I could share the screen, I could sort of walk the board through the project and explain what we're proposing here. It's essentially a redevelopment of the former Novartis site that's been sort of out of use for the last decade or so. So host disabled screen sharing. Is there a way to change that, Steve? Or
There is. I'm going to call Lisa. Come on in here because this is rather than me screw it up and actually end the call or something like that. I'm just going to kind of roll my chair out of the way and put a burden on her to take care of this.
Yep.
Here, let me get out of your way,
In
Lisa.
the meantime, we all know it's a very large site, 100+ acres of 50,000 out. The plan is to redevelop the site with approximately 1.2 million square feet of state-of-the-art logistics space. And I'll walk sort of the preliminary site plan we have that's before the Suffern Planning Board now, and sort of the plan for the project. There it is.
Okay, there, okay, yep, thank
Can
you.
you see my screen now?
Yep, we're good.
Yeah,
Okay. Familiarize everyone with sort of the location of this project. Here is Route 59 down here. Sorry if you can see my mouse here. Here's Hemian Road over here. Here's Old Mill Road, and here's the New York State Thruway with our thruway on the top of the page. So here are the three proposed building. One building is in excess of 900,000 square feet. One building is in excess of 100 and something thousand square feet, and the other building is approximately 88,000 square feet. Plan will be to demolish the existing building, create a new stormwater management system on site, state of the art, and construct these three buildings. The project, this will be accessed. I can sort of walk you through the access points, either coming south or north on the thruway to Airmont Road. Come down Airmont Road and make a right onto Route 59. Then you'll approach Hemian Road. You'll make a right on Hemian Road to Old Mill Road and make a left on Old Mill Road into the site, and it'll be accessible that way from the trucks and also employee traffic. The plan will be to keep all traffic leaving and entering the site on Old Mill Road, Hemian Road, and the State Highway Route 59 to Airmont Road out to the thruway. There's been some discussion to ensure that there's no traffic going into the village of Suffern with the truck traffic or into Montebello down by the school. That is fine with the applicant, and they've actually proposed that as part of the plan. There's actually no reason to go down to Montebello. All the traffic will come down Hemian Road, and we'll work with the state and the county to ensure that traffic goes out to Airmont Road. This is sort of the logistics of the site also that may help you out. We have a brochure here, just a rendering of what the property will likely, could look like. There may be some changes, obviously, when we go through some of the approval process through the secret and through the planning board. Well, it's a state-of-the-art logistics facility, 3 Class A LEED buildings, approximately 1,500, could be as high as 1,500 permanent jobs, 300 construction jobs. The development will increase not only the tax revenue for the village, there'll be no impact on the school district with no school children, and also for the town and the special district. So this would be a huge tax benefit for the municipalities. We will be seeking the tax benefits of a pilot. However, our initial analysis, we're going to meet with the assessor and go over those numbers, and the school district at all times, the tax payments will be at minimum what they are now, and then they'll gradually go up over the time frame, is our plan. The applicant is part of Brookfield Properties. They have a number of Class A tenants. This will be a Class A office building. Their current tenants include Fortune 500 companies, including Kellogg's, Wayfair, and Home Depot. There could be others, Peloton. This is not a tenant yet because we need to build it, but those are the type of tenants that Brookfield is able to get for their facilities. They're currently building a similar size facility off of exit 8 off of the New Jersey Turnpike. That is nearing completion. And if anyone on the IDA or the IDA board would want to come down to take a look at that facility, we'd be more than happy to host you down there. As I indicated, this will be a stormwater management plan, a brand new, a number of catch basins, both wet and dry, being designed by Dynamic Engineering, who's the engineer on the property. The building will be solar capable with electric vehicle charging stations for the possibility for the future that whether solar is on the roof and or electric charging stations for trucks, it's likely that in 10 years or so, all 18-wheel trucks may be electric. So that capability will be there. As I said, the traffic will remain on the state highways, and they're a good corporate citizens, 0 greenhouse gas emissions. And here's a rendering of sort of the that'll be that corner over there on the top right of the page, is sort of something that we've built in the past, a rendering that that could be the facility. Brookfield is aware of the labor policy of the IDA. They're talked to their contractor already about that. So that is in motion, and in terms of getting bids out, et cetera. The number of jobs is fluid. We sort of do this on a per square foot basis. We've submitted in our application to be at least 400 new jobs, and the pay scale of those jobs will also be hundreds and hundreds of construction jobs. So we think this is a great redevelopment of the existing site that is laid barren for at least a decade. And we would like to move this project forward. The IDA benefits are key to ensuring this type of Class A building and this type of Class A tenant, given the competition around from neighboring states and also neighboring counties. But Brookfield loves this site and is ready to develop it. And we're going through the process down in before the Suffern Planning Board now. So we'd be happy to answer any questions you have or do anything else today.
I have a question.
Sure.
Is there any hazardous material remediation that needs to be done on the site?
We don't believe so. There'll be a demo job to the extent that it needs to be tented and stuff. That'll comply with all state laws. We've done a phase 1 and I believe a phase 2 and have not found any hazardous material underground.
Thank you.
These numbers that are on your application, they don't represent the fit up work, correct?
When you say fit up work, can you just be a little more,
Um,
maybe it's not my construction knowledge there. I don't know if Justin knows what that is.
orange shell. In other words, what you have here doesn't indicate if
No.
when you get a tenant, what
Tim, your audio is breaking up pretty badly.
okay. Hold on.
That's better.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay. Did you hear what I said?
I did not.
The numbers you give, that's for core and shell, meaning that when you get a tenant, the work or the numbers you've given do not include any work done by the tenant, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, the second question I have, Raymore Flanagan is one of your corporate neighbors across the street on Hemian Road. Has there been any talk of using that road there? Is that a public road, number one? It isn't. Then there's no way you can get access to that road, because that would solve a lot of the traffic issues if there is any. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Correct.
Fucking Dunnigan, Tim.
Is
Yeah,
that what it is?
Yeah.
We haven't
Okay.
spoken to them. As you know, I don't know if you've seen it. There's like a bar that they put up to stop traffic, any truck traffic from going through there. We have not reached out to them or spoken to them, but we can try.
Because that would take you off Route 59, basically almost off of Evian Way. It's off the thruway on that road, Dunnigan Road, into your facility. So, and then my last question is, your entrance to the new facility is basically the same as the old, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
I don't want to interrupt if there's more questions.
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right, we're ready to call roll. I do have to recuse myself from the vote, but Stephen, if you could.
I just want to make one point because I think it's actually interesting and noteworthy. Every project, we do a cost benefit analysis. And essentially, Lisa takes the core information of the application and puts it into a model that, is a state recognized model. And I think it's noteworthy for the board, and I think for the record to see this, that at the local level, the ratio of local benefit to incentive dollars given to the applicant is 107 to 1. Kind of jumps out on that as far as the impact of this project on the local level. And I think that's good for the record for that the board is aware of that.
You know what, Steve, I have one more question if I may. I just remembered. We had originally an applicant that was going to put up a nursing home, which would probably abut this property. You know what I'm talking about? The one across from Good Samaritan Hospital?
Yeah,
Does this application or sale of property impact that property at all?
not to my knowledge, that project is going forward as, I haven't heard anything that would make.
At a snail's,
What's
I
that?
think they're building
at
it
a
now.
snail's pace.
Oh, yeah, it's moving slowly, but no, in fact, I know I don't want to defer too much to that, but we just got the pilot signed off by all the parts. I mean, it's going forward, barring some left turn that I don't
Yeah,
see.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
Steve?
Peggy,
Yeah, I just have I guess a procedural question. Eric, if you're gonna recuse yourself, don't we need all three of us to vote, isn't it? I know, like on my boards, if we have people absent, it's not the majority of the people present. It has to be like, if we have a 5-member board, 3 would be a quorum. Then all 3 of those people have to vote yes. It's not a majority of the people present, it's the quorum of the board. I thought I just don't want to see anything happen with this application.
okay, I understand. And yeah, this is something that was addressed many years ago. And I have to say, Peggy, I don't recall if it's a majority of the board or a majority of those present. Okay,
Maybe one of the lawyers knows.
Ron,
We
do
always
you-
do it. I don't, I was always told on my boards it had to be a if the quorum is the people present at the meeting, everybody present at the meeting has to vote yes.
yeah, and it's not a Robert's rules issue with us. I think there might be something
Maybe it's different with the
GML,
municipality.
but here's what I could propose is we could do a vote today, right? And Ron and Brian, feel free to chime in anytime. And subject to ratification at our next board meeting.
Okay.
All right, are you gentlemen okay with that approach? I'm talking Ron and Brian.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
I'm okay.
Eric,
I don't want to delay these folks.
I don't either, but I also.
They all
Eric,
came
just
in
a note.
today, and looking at me first thing in the morning is not something anyone should have to do twice if they can avoid it. So,
Eric, just as a point, just as a-
someone
just as a-
move the resolution and I'll step away.
if I can make a point before you do that, Eric, if you recall about when we amended our prevailing wage policy about 1.5 years ago, we had 3 members and it was a majority of the members present. There was 3 members there and it was a vote of 2 to 1, if you recall. So I think there's a precedent. I just want to make you aware. I don't know if that's relevant to this, but I just want to make you aware that that has been actions by the board in the past.
Okay.
Eric, I think your idea of the vote today and then a ratification by a 3-person board next month is fine with us. And then we can even wait to schedule the public hearing to your next meeting. It's fine with us also.
Okay. And that's subject to maybe Ron and Brian, you could just check out the nuance with that and let us know which way that falls. But either way, I think we certainly can proceed despite my recusal.
Okay,
Yeah.
All
I'll
right,
move it.
so if anyone wants to move it, second it, I'm stepping out.
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Stephen, call the roll.
Peg Zugaby,
Yes.
Tim Riley,
Yes.
Eric Dranoff.
Recused.
Okay. So,
Thank you, members of the board. Steve and Lisa will be in touch with you shortly, and Brian, thank you.
okay. All right, guys.
Good to see you,
Thank you
Eric.
very much.
Bye-bye.
Okay, carry on.
Okay. Now our next project, there's 2 separate actions, but it's the same entity. So, and
It's
Michael,
actually
I'm gonna-
not the same, it's not the same entity. You're
Well,
looking at the
no, I'm sorry, you're
applications,
right.
one is a sole proprietorship, the other one was the LLC.
Correct.
And one of them, I know the agenda for 26 Myrtle, but there's actually 3 parcels for that as well. just to clarify, it's 22, 24, and 26.
Yeah, that's correct. It's written in the text in the second paragraph.
So I will, I guess, yes, I misspoke. They're not similar. They're similar in nature, the nature of the project. So I'll defer that, but we'll deal with them individually. So maybe at this point, I know, Michael, I've been working with you on that. I'll turn to you if you want to give an overview, or I believe Mr. Unger, you're involved as well. So I'll let you guys give that overview that we'd like to have.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. We appreciate the time this morning that you're giving to us. So I think we'll begin with the more substantial project. That's 22, 24, 26 North Myrtle Avenue. There are 3 lots that are adjacent. One is owned by the principal owner of the applicant, Mr. Wettenstein. The other 2 lots are not, but there is a contract to purchase those lots. What's proposed is the construction of 3 separate buildings. Between the 3 buildings, they would house 22 bedroom, excuse me, this morning, 33 bedroom and 34 bedroom units. The approval process requires a special permit by the village board and site plan approval by the planning board. There was a prior approval of a different derivation of the project, but we're now back before the village, changing the nature of the project to the 3 buildings and the number of units which we now propose. 15% of the units, or 12 of them, will be classified as affordable units. There is a phase 1 environmental study which has been done and submitted to the board. The existing use of the property are basically on each lot, there is an old abandoned residence dating back to a little after 1900. And on one of the lots, there's some truck parking. So they're very underutilized and they result in very little tax revenue. There is a need for a diverse housing stock. We're talking about the village of Spring Valley, which is a distressed community. And this will provide a diverse housing need to serve that community. The applicant has a history of residential development, and he's committed to use entirely local contractors, both for the construction and for the management of the property after it's constructed. So that's the essence of 23, 22, 24, and 26 Myrtle.
Yeah, Michael, let me just
Sure.
ask you a quick question. In this application for the 22, 24, 26, it's not refer in the project description to the 12 affordable units that you mentioned. And why I point that out is in the application for the 1216 parcel, in the description there, I think I'm scrolling. I'm not boring you by not looking at it. I'm just looking at the documents. It refers to 6 of the apartments will be affordable housing as a condition of the project's municipal approval. So again, I don't see that in the application we're talking about right now.
Yes, it is not in the narrative. In preparing for today's meeting, and when I met with Mr. Wettenstein and Mr. Unger, we discussed specifically that. And it's the policy of the village of Spring Valley to require approximately 15% of new units to be affordable. So although that was not in the narrative, we represent that that will be the case. So 15% or 12 units will be affordable housing. The balance of the units will be market rate.
Okay, so I mean, we certainly could proceed with the consideration, but I just would suggest then that the Schedule C, if you could amend it to reflect that component, so we're also consistent with the other project and what it's referring to.
Yes, we will do so. Thank you for pointing that out. And yeah, that was something I didn't realize when we first submitted the application, but I realized in preparation for today's meeting.
All right, no worries, no worries.
Should we go on to 12, 14, 16 or?
We got to take them separately, the separate inducements for each.
Oh, and there is no rendering of the buildings for this project yet. I'm advised that if you see the rendering that was submitted for the other project, it will be architecturally compatible with that building, which I think is extremely attractive and very modern looking. We don't have, again, rendering is not available for this project yet, but I'm advised that the architect will design it in a very similar compatible fashion.
So how many square feet is a 4-bedroom apartment?
Mr. Unger, could you be able to answer that? And by the way, Mr. Unger is effectively the chief financial officer for Mr. Wettenstein's companies.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, about square footage. If you can give me a minute, I can take a look at my file, but also.
I'm just asking because
I
I
understand, I understand.
grew up in Spring Valley. It's a
Oh,
big
wow.
enough 4-bedroom. Maybe I'll move in.
Beautiful. I'd love to have you as a tenant. One second, give me just 1 minute. I'll put it up on my file. Give me just a minute.
You could buy 2 units, one above the other, and have a duplex for $8.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Myrtle is the street the post office is on, right?
The post office on Madison.
Madison. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
What happened there? Went on my screen. Let's see. Oh. Sorry, one second. Something went wrong with my screen. 1 second. I'll be right back. See if I find it. No, when you look for something, you need it in a minute. That's when you don't find
4
it.
bedrooms are approximately 2,200 square feet, but you can correct me if that's not accurate, Mr. Unger.
Yeah. Okay, it's not working now.
Okay.
You don't have wouldn't you have the site plan, Michael? It should be
Yeah,
on
I was
the
actually
bulk
looking at-
table.
What was that? You kind of stepped on each other there.
Yeah. 1 second. With one more try, it works, otherwise. 1 second. Just one.
All right, while you're looking for that, and it's not critical, I was just really curious.
No, it's okay. I'll have it in a minute. We have 3 buildings. The total, 1 second, let's see here. Total square footage. Come on, doesn't give me the square footage, the bulk table. 1 second. Number of units, 80 units. Write it.
All right.
Yeah, Mordecai, the narrative for the phase 1, when it was proposed initially as one building of all 4 bedrooms, had 2,200 square foot for the 4 bedrooms. So I think you left the size of the 4 bedrooms the same and reduced the size of the 3 and the 2s.
I think in total, the number I'm getting here now is 95,500 in total.
But the size of each 4 bedroom is what the question was.
Oh, the size of each 4 bedroom.
Yeah, you know what? It's okay.
We don't have the final plan now.
Don't worry about it.
All
right.
Okay.
Let me just ask you this, just to make sure, because we recently have adopted a new labor policy, and I just want to make sure that you both have read that. You're familiar specifically with the hiring local requirements. You have all that absorbed and understood.
Yes, we've discussed that specifically, and that was our intent in any event, and we will certainly comply with the local labor requirements.
Okay. Tim, Peggy, any questions? And anyone want to move the resolution?
I'll move it as amended to include the 15% affordable housing.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, Stephen, call the roll.
Hey, Peg Zugaby,
Yes.
Tim Riley. Eric Dranoff.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's induced, and if we can go on to the next one, I'll turn it to you to discuss that project as well, Michael.
Yes, so a short distance down Myrtle are 3 lots. They are currently owned by Mr. Wettenstein. On those 3 lots, he proposes to build a 3 or 4 story residential building. This would house 4 1-bedrooms, 4 2-bedrooms, and 11 3-bedroom units. 6 of the 19 units will be affordable housing. These existing lots are each have a very old vacant residence, also dating back to the early or mid 1900s. So this is a redevelopment of clearly underutilized, undertaxed lots that will provide, again, a diversity of housing stock with mixed size units and affordable units as well. The application includes a rendering of what the building is to look like. I think the color scheme and the design are quite attractive and will be a welcome improvement to this area in Spring Valley. Again, we understand that Spring Valley is a distressed community. There's a housing need and a need for a diversity of housing, both in size and in price. We are again aware of the local labor policies and have specifically discussed that. The contractors for construction will be from local laborers, local contractors, and the management of the building will also be done on a local basis.
Tim, Peggy, any questions with this project?
Yeah, I just have a question. I guess it's really for both projects. With the affordable housing, how is that determined who is able to access that?
I'm not sure of the mechanism, but the village has affordable housing restrictions that we have to comply with. So it's essentially a commitment for all developers of new units to have a certain percentage qualified as affordable. I don't know what the income and the asset requirements are to meet those affordability criteria, but we'll certainly comply with whatever the village requires us to do.
Anything else, folks? Anyone want to move the resolution?
I'll move it.
I'll second.
All right, Stephen, call the roll.
Peg Zugaby,
Yes.
Tim Riley. Tim?
Yes.
Okay. Eric Dranoff.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Michael, and guess you're induced. As Michael, you know what will happen next. We will conduct a public hearing. I'll give you a heads up on that. You're not required to attend. We'll talk about this with like the scheduling of it. And we'll have that at some point. And the state's still allowing Zoom public hearings, so that's what we'll do. And then, but we'll do that prior to authorization. From a timing standpoint, can I assume you'd like to have this project considered for authorization at our May meeting, or is there a reason you'd like to have it delayed or whatever?
No, as soon as possible would be our
Okay.
preference.
All right, so then we'll schedule the public. We have time. It's a 10-day public hearing notice period. We'll go ahead and get that scheduled, and we'll be in touch as well. And again, you're not required to attend the public hearing. It's kind of a one-way communication of the public giving us any comment they see fit. But we'll talk about this offline.
Don't discourage Michael. Michael loves attending public hearings.
The more time I can spend with Steve and Brian, I just appreciate it. So,
It's what he lives for, yeah.
but thank you very much. We much appreciate the time and we appreciate your consideration of these 2 projects. Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank you.
dropping
Thank
it.
you
Good to
all.
see you.
Hey, thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right,
Okay.
moving along, folks.
All right.
New business?
I don't have any. Alicia, do we have any new business that we need to discuss with anybody?
No.
Old business?
No. No.
Monkey
Yeah,
business?
I will bring up old business in the sense that we are closing, kind of lining up and closing projects that we had induced and authorized. So they're all starting to fall into place. A lot of these from either late last year and even early in the spring. I know, Brian, if you want to give a quick update, as far as I know, some of the ones you're working on.
Yeah, well, Asahi, everything is ready, just waiting for them to sign. Morgan Stanley, it's just a sales tax exemption. They have all the docs. They said they're signing them and getting them back to us. We, of course, just now have reauthorized or authorized Manhattan Beer for additional stuff. Admiral's Cove, we closed that already, but now they're in the midst of getting their construction financing, which I anticipate that's going to happen this week. And Momentum, those docs are also out and should be signed shortly. So there's at least 3 projects that I think will close within the next, by the end of next week.
Hey, Ron, you have anything to update us on?
That's it.
Nope.
But I think he's talking, but
No, your mic is off.
You gotta turn your audio on.
Sorry, nothing closing imminently, but projects are moving forward.
All right. So, Tim, you want to talk about our cash money position?
Well, again, actually, if I can jump in.
Same thing with the bookkeeper?
Right, the same thing with the bookkeeper. And since we only had 3 members, I said, okay, we'll just defer that. I could say informally.
I'm glad you made that executive decision.
I did make it, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
But, I can say there's nothing unusual about, there's no unusual expenses, but again, we'll go through the drill next month for 2 months.
We're still making a living?
We're making a very nice living, yes.
Okay, good.
So.
All right, so let's impose upon Lisa to read, and then maybe we'll approve the minutes.
All right, so we had a call to order. The first action item was authorizing resolution for Manhattan Year 2. Steve explained that there was a public hearing held and there was no public comment and they were ready to authorize. And with no further discussion, a motion to approve the resolution was made by Peg and second by Tim. All in favor, motion passed 3-0. The second item was the inducement resolution of IV2 Rockland Logistics Center. Steve explained that they're applying for mortgage recording tax, sales tax exemption, and pilot. Darius came on and gave a brief overview of the project. He explained that they're redeveloping the former Novartis site. He shared his screen to give the board a proper view. He explained the traffic pattern in and out of the facility, and that it's a huge tax benefit for the municipalities. He also explained that prospective tenants include Fortune 500 e-commerce companies, and that the building will have solar capabilities and the ability for electronic charging stations, and that the number of jobs is fluid based on the tenant that comes in once the buildings are complete. Peg asked if there were any hazardous materials that needed removal on the site, and Darius explained that he did not think so. Tim asked about the traffic patterns and if they would have access to Raymore and Flanagan's site, and Darius explained that maybe that's something they could bring up. Eric recused himself for the vote, and with no further discussion, a motion to approve the resolution was made by Peg, second by Tim. All in favor, motion passed 2-0. We then went on to the inducement resolution for 26 North Myrtle LLC. Steve explained that they're applying for mortgage recording, sales tax exemption, and pilot to build housing in Spring Valley. Michael Klein explained that there will be 3 detached 4-story buildings of 22 bedrooms, 33 bedrooms, and 34 bedrooms. 15% of the units will be classified as affordable units, and he explained that the current lots are underutilized. He stated that there is a need for diverse housing. Board members asked a few questions. So one of them about the affordable housing that is not listed on the application, where Michael Klein then explained that he will amend the application to talk about the affordable housing. And Chairman Drainoff confirmed that they reviewed the local labor policy. With no further discussion, a motion to approve the resolution was made by Peg, second by Tim. All in favor, motion passed 3-0.
Lisa, Can the minutes reflect that I made the motion as amended to include the 15% affordable
Sure.
housing?
Okay,
Because it wasn't on the original application.
yeah, okay, not a problem. The inducement resolution for 12, 14, and 16 North Myrtle Avenue. Mr. Klein explained that they are applying for a mortgage recording tax, sales tax exemption, and pilot to build housing in Spring Valley. There will be 19 apartments with 6 of them for affordable housing, which was stated on this application. There will be mixed-size units. Pegs that could be asked how they determine who can access the affordable housing, and Mr. Klein said that the village has a policy in place. With no further discussion, a motion to approve the resolution was made by Tim, second by Peg. All in favor, motion passed 3-0. There was no new business. The old business, Steve just explained that we're closing a few projects where Brian went into and updated which projects were close to closing, and that is it.
Excellent. And all right, a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll move it.
And seconds, show of hands, all in favor. Aye.
Aye.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in, everyone. That was very quick and to the point.
But you find this interesting. I happened to glance over my shoulder. I've got 2 workers sitting right outside my.
I
window.
know, I've been watching them go up and down.
I turned over my shoulder. They looked at me and waved.
Hey, it's a
All right,
public
you
meeting.
all. Thank you. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, everyone. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.